And we are now in the continuation of our lecture on negotiable instrument law. This is the second PowerPoint presentation, is the second lecture for the midterm coverage. In this lecture, we will discuss endorsement, we will discuss accommodation party, we will know consideration and a manner of transfer. But first of all, we would like to mention the researchers on this to make this PowerPoint possible. The person of Miss Kagapi Jenny, Miss Calo Patrick Gwen, Miss Dapar Laika, Facultad Gel Crisa, Grabino Johanna. Those are the people who are beautiful enough to help me produce this PowerPoint presentation. And as usual, we are going to have a pre-test or post-test questions. And here are the following. When is the drawee liable? Question number 2. Can a corporation act as an accommodation party? Question number 3. What are the kinds of endorsements? Question number 4. What are the requisites of an accommodation party? Number 5. What are the rights of a restrictive endorsee? 6. What is presumption of consideration? 7. What is issuance? 8. What is negotiation? 9. What is qualified endorsement? And lastly, what is a blank endorsement? Answer the pre-test and post-test. Question number 1. When is the drawee become liable? Answer, a drawee becomes liable the moment he accepts the instrument, which is Section 26 provides that the acceptor, by accepting the instrument, engages that he will pay it according to the tenor of his acceptance. Number 2 question. Can a corporation act as an accommodation party? The answer is no. A corporation cannot act as an accommodation party. The issue or endorsement of a negotiable instrument by a corporation without consideration and for the accommodation of another is or beyond the power of a corporation. What are the kinds of endorsements? Number 3 question. We have blank endorsement. We have special endorsement. We have qualified endorsement. We have conditional endorsement and restrictive endorsement and irregular endorsement. We will define that later on as we go on the discussion, the heavy discussion after answering this pre and post-test examination. 4th question. What are the requisites of an accommodation party? 1. He must be a party to the instrument, signing as a maker, drawer, acceptor, or endorser. 2. He must not have received a value, therefore, in the instrument. Number 3. He must sign for the purpose of lending his name or credit to some other person. Meaning of an accommodation party. Next question. What are the rights of a restrictive endorsee? Answer. The rights of the restrictive endorsee is 1. To receive payment for the instrument. Number 2. To bring any action thereon that the endorser could bring. 3. To transfer his rights as endorsee where the form of endorsement authorizes him to do so. Number 6 question. What is a presumption of consideration? Answer. Section 24 says that every negotiable instrument is deemed prima facie to have been issued for a valuable consideration, and every person whose signature appears thereon to have become a party for value. 7th question. What is issuance? Issue is the first delivery of the instrument complete in a form to a person who takes it as a holder. Authority is Section 191 of the Negotiable. Question number 8. What is negotiation? Negotiation is an instrument, is negotiated when it is transferred from one person to another in such a manner as to constitute the transferee a holder thereof. Question number 9. What is a qualified endorsement? Qualified endorsement constitutes the endorser as a mere assigner of the title to the instrument. Last question. What is a blank endorsement? Answer. When there is no endorsee that is being specified, and it is done by affixing the endorsee's signature, that is a blank. Okay, let us discuss endorsements. Where endorsements should be placed? Saan? On the instrument itself. Or is a separate paper attached to the instrument called allunes. Where can you find that? Section 31 of the NIL. Endorsement must be of the entire instrument, as said by Section 32 of NIL. Section 32 of the NIL disallows negotiation to 2 or more endorsees. What are the kinds of endorsement? Blank endorsement, special endorsement, qualified endorsement, conditional endorsement, restrictive endorsement. Restrictive endorsement is one that prohibits further negotiation of the instrument, means pay to X only, or constitutes the endorsee the agent of the endorser, pay to X for collection, or vests the title of the endorsee in trust for or to the use of some other persons, pay to X in. What are the rights of restrictive endorsee? To receive payment of the instrument, to bring any action thereon that the endorser could bring, to transfer his rights as such endorsee when the form of endorsement authorizes him to do so. What is an irregular? An irregular endorsement is one which is endorsed irregularly because the signature does not appear and the elements are not complete. Now let us discuss accommodation party. Accommodation party is one who signed the instrument as maker, drawer, acceptor, or endorser. The requisites are: he must be a party to the instrument signing as maker, drawer, acceptor, or endorser, and he must have received value therefore, which is the instrument, and he must sign for the purpose of lending his name or credit to some other person that makes him an accommodation party. Liable to the holder for value, notwithstanding such holder at the time of taking the instrument. That's the accommodation party. A corporation cannot act as the accommodation party can ask for reimbursement from the accommodated party after paying the holder. There is also the extension of the term or period to pay in favor of the accommodated party without the consent of the accommodation party does not discharge the accommodation. Consideration. Section 24. It is said that the presumption of consideration. Every negotiable instrument is deemed prima facie to have been issued for a valuable consideration, and every person whose signature appears thereon to have become a party thereto for value. That is consideration. What constitutes consideration or value? Value is any consideration sufficient to support a simple contract. An antecedent or pre-existing debt constitutes value and is deemed such whether the instrument is payable in demand or at a future time. What constitutes a holder for value? where the value has at any time been given for the instrument, the holder is deemed a holder for value in respect to all parties who became such prior to that time. Section 27, when lien on instrument constitutes holder for value, where the holder has a lien on the instrument arising either from the contract or by implication of law, he is deemed a holder for value to the extent of his lien. What are the effects of consideration? Absence or failure of consideration is a matter of defense as against any person not a holder in due course, and partial failure of consideration is a defense pro tanto, whether the failure is an ascertained and liquidated amount or otherwise. What is the liability of the accommodation party? An accommodation party is one who has signed the instrument as maker, drawer, acceptor, or endorser without receiving value therefore, and for the purpose of lending his name to some other person. Such person is liable on the instrument to a holder for value, notwithstanding such holder at the time of taking the instrument knew him to be only an. Now, what are the manner and consequence of transferring of instruments? If the instrument is negotiable, the transfer thereof can be effected either through negotiation and assignment. Negotiation. Negotiation, if the negotiable instrument is merely assigned, the transferee does not become a holder and he merely steps into the shoes of the transferor. Assignment. Assignment is non-negotiable instrument, can be assigned and cannot be negotiated. And it is asked in 2012 bar. However, this is still transfer of the right to issuance or issue. Issue is the first delivery of the instrument complete in the form to a person who takes it as a holder. Section 191 in IL. Issuance to the payee is negotiation because the transfer constitutes the payee as the holder of the instrument. Delivery is defined as the transfer of possession of the instrument by the maker or drawer with the intention to transfer title to the payee and recognize him as holder. Now, negotiation. If payable to the bearer, it is negotiated by delivery. 2012 bar exam. If payable to order, in the negotiation, it is negotiated by the endorsement of the holder completed by delivery. Now, bearer instrument, take note, is always a bearer instrument. What is a bearer instrument? Bearer, promissory note. Okay. What about the bill of exchange? It is an order instrument. Take note of that. When an instrument payable to bearer is endorsed, especially, it may nevertheless be further negotiated by delivery also. But any person endorsing specially is liable as endorser to only such holders as make title through his endorsements. Found in Section 40 in IL, and it is also asked in the 1998 bar. Incomplete negotiation of order instrument. Where the holder of an instrument payable to his order transfer it for value without endorsing it, the transfer vests in the transferee such title as the transferor had therein, and the transferee acquires in addition the right to have the endorsement of the transferor. Found in Section 49 in IL. For the purpose of determining whether the transferee is a holder in due course, the negotiation takes effect as of the time when the endorsement is actually made. Found in Section 49. And that was the last slide of the discussion for our negotiable instrument continuation lecture. Thank you, and